Now it's time for some analysis on the situation. For some analysis on this, joining me now here in the studios is Professor Sami Al-Arian. He's the director of the Center for Islam and Global Affairs at Sabahattin Zaim University. Professor, great to have you here with us on TRT World.
Thank you.
Okay, so there are some key elements missing from the so-called Board of Peace. Of course, the number one, where are the Palestinians? Number two, this time around, it seems that Europeans are not interested in what Donald Trump is hosting. Why?
Absolutely. Europeans do not trust the whole process. They think this is a way in order to circumvent the international legitimacy. If you recall back in September, the Europeans were trying to push through France and Saudi Arabia the notion of a Palestinian state. Then Trump came and hijacked the whole process and made it into a humanitarian crisis rather than a political one. What we are facing today, basically, is an attempt by Trump to achieve through political goals what the Israelis couldn't do through military operations. We have today, Palestinians not represented, lacking agency, lacking representation. You have all these assembled groups who are coming just because Donald Trump asked them to come in. But the whole process has been controlled from start to finish by Donald Trump. There is no really a clear picture of where this is heading. He's talking about $5 billion. United Nations talk about $80 billion over a period of 10 to 15 years. The Egyptian plan was calling for $53 billion, and still he's talking about $5 billion without knowing where this is going.
Let me ask you this question. How much influence do you think Netanyahu has over this Board of Peace?
Lots of influence. It's pretty clear that the Israelis have been calling the shots. What was called stage one have not been fulfilled. All the obligations that Israel was supposed to come through Rafah crossing, or the opening of the Rafah crossings, the aid coming in 600 trucks a day, none of that has been implemented. All the equipment to remove the debris, the reconstruction, the caravan, the houses, none of that. And he's not calling them. He's not calling them to action. He's not calling them to account. The Palestinians have delivered everything they were asked for. All the hostages have been released. All the bodies have been released. The Palestinians have done everything they were asked for. And yet, the Palestinians are still suffering today, despite everything that has happened for the past 2 years.
Absolutely. And one question that I believe is perhaps one of the most important one right now, especially as these leaders are going to be meeting as part of the so-called Board of Peace in Washington. If decisions are made about the future of Gaza without the involvement of Palestinians,
it's not going to succeed. I mean, it's pretty clear to me that what Trump is trying to do is trying to do his own thing, trying to promote his own brand of peace, but that's not going to be peace.
But what's the likelihood he might be able to rally support from within major Muslim and Arab nations?
He will be able to get some money, but most of that money is not going to go to relief for the Palestinians. He's trying to turn it into Riviera. I think it's just a trick. It's not that deep in terms of commitment to what's going to happen to the Palestinians. The Palestinians are not involved. They committed to this 15-member technocratic committee. They're not even able to go there. Israel has said no, they can't go there. And as you see, that they have been meeting in the American embassy, not doing much.
So, here's the thing then. If this Board of Peace turns out to be something that is not producing any sorts of results for the Palestinian or the two-state solution, then why do we see so much interest from regional players and key stakeholders into participating in the summit?
The reason is because they failed to stop a genocide. And they thought that this is the sure way of stopping the killing of the Palestinians by the tens of thousands. I don't think anybody is buying this Board of Peace or that there will be real effort. But if they could at least stop the genocide, and it's been stopping on that level of thousands of people every month, maybe that's a good achievement. But even since then, Palestinians lost over 600 people. So that's low-level violence, but they thought, well, that's better than losing tens of thousands of women and children and crippling the whole notion. Everybody understands it's going to be a couple of years, very difficult couple of years under Trump, but everybody is hoping that somehow in the future we'll be able to recover and go into some kind of a political process.
Fascinating insights, Professor Sami Al-Arian. Thanks very much for joining me here in the studios.